Dear Richard, congratulations! You've been accepted to the Southern California College of Optometry at Marshall B. Ketchum University. Oh my god! When I got this email, you don't know how excited I was. I was literally sitting at a fancy ass restaurant in Beverly Hills with my cousin. I was eating pasta and I kept refreshing my page because, I heard that they give out the acceptances really quickly, and I just kept refreshing until finally I saw this email and I literally freaked out. I could not speak. I did not eat my food because I'm somebody, when I'm excited or anything like that, I lose my appetite because I fill up with all this joy and excitement. I just can't believe it. I applied so late, and this school was one of my top choices, and it's so far away, and I didn't know if I have the right credentials and all that good stuff. I don't know what I was thinking. Today, this video is going to be dedicated to SCCO, my process of applying to it. Sorry, my housemates are like having a party or something. But yeah, my process of applying to it, what the interview was like, what that day was like, and why I ultimately chose SCCO over SALIS, their scholars and their traditional program, and why I chose to decline SUNY's invitation for an interview. Okay, so to start off, I applied to SCCO in like early February or whatever. Their application isn't much different from any other school. They just have two supplemental essays. So the essays are like, how did you research SCCO? Why? What is it? Oh, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And are you missing any prerequisites? Like that kind of stuff. I fill that out, I submit it, and I hear back in a week and a half or so mid-February. I get the email that I made it through the first round and that I have been offered an interview. And once you make it to this stage, you get this login thing, like a login email and password, and you go onto their website and you have to schedule an interview, and there's all these documents on there and all that good stuff. So the only interview date that I had was March 4th, so I chose that one, and that was a Saturday, thankfully, so I had time to tell my professors that I was leaving, book a flight, and figure out like sleeping arrangements. Went on, I think, Travelocity. I don't even know. Honestly, I am not the best person to give you like advice on airplanes or places to stay. If somebody has a better like option, or if you were somebody who interviewed and got in, or like you just like planes, feel free to comment below and tell me if there's the best way to get the best deal on an airplane ticket, because all I really did was I went on Travelocity because I heard Travelocity does that. But yeah, so the ticket was like $345, and then the Airbnb that I looked into, and that's round trip, and the Airbnb that I looked into was the cheapest one I could find that was nearby. It was like $114 for 3 nights. But thankfully, my family were able to host me. But if you don't have family in California, look to budget anywhere between 400, not even like 500 and upwards, because that stuff's expensive if you don't if you're not from around there. When you're applying to schools, keep that in mind before you start applying to every program, because unless you're somebody who's like very well off, good for you, but I'm somebody who has to like work for their money and stuff. So anyways, so I scheduled my interview for March 4th, do all that stuff, and March 3rd comes, that's when I fly out, and I arrived to LAX on Friday around 7 p.m., got dinner with my cousin, went to bed. I didn't prepare much because I don't believe in over-preparing. I'm not that type of person. I feel like it makes me overthink more. I go to bed, I wake up, it's like 7 a.m., I shower, and then I like prepare a little bit. Like I look through, what I posted on OPTOMETRY, what I posted on my application, just in case they ask me and I'm just like a little rusty. So go there and, you know, they give you this cool little checklist, little itinerary for the day, and everyone is different based on what group you're from. I don't know why I'm holding this up there because you probably can't see this, but that says Group D. So everybody's in a different group. I went in there, and there was about 20 people being interviewed, 20 students getting an interview, and I just sat at a table and I kind of scanned the room, and like everybody there was from California except for like 5 kids. So that in itself was kind of intimidating. I don't know. I was a little intimidated. But other than that, the day was really smooth. After the check-in, I went to a VR magic stimulation room demo. So what that is SCCO has state-of-the-art technology that allows us to dilate patients. They're virtual patients, by the way, in order for us to practice our lab and clinical skills. So what I got to do was, because I volunteered, because I'm that type of person, was what the hell? What's it called? Binocular indirect ophthalmoscopy. So there's 2 types of ophthalmoscopy. There's direct and there's indirect. So the indirect one is one where you go to the doctor's office, and you ever see the doctor with that helmet? So he puts that helmet on, and there's a light at the front of the helmet, and then he has a little mirror or like a little glass thing, and he looks into your eyes. That's indirect. Direct is when he just has he holds a light in his hands, and he puts it to your eyes, and then he kind of just looks at it, I believe. Okay, don't quote me on that. So I did the indirect way, and ophthalmoscopy is basically just like examining the retina of the eye and the optic nerve health. If there's anything funky in your eye, that's really what all it is. But enough of that lesson. So after that, I spoke with the Dean of Admissions, which is Dean Monroe. Beautiful lady, very intelligent. I love her to death. During my process of freaking out and being so late in the cycle, or what I thought was late, apparently it's like not that late. But I was freaking out, and she helped me out a lot. She and Erin Craning, who is the assistant dean of admissions, you guys will meet them. Both great women, both amazing ladies who are 100 committed to helping you guys succeed. And even though I wasn't in their program, I guess they saw something in me and they really wanted me to, be a part of it. So I talked to them about prereqs, got to know them a little bit. That's Dean Monroe. And after Dean Monroe, I spoke to Erin Craning, and she was really there to just answer any questions that I had. So I asked her questions that were very thoughtful and specific to what I wanted or want still. So I wanted to go to a program that had a MS program in it within it. Like I can get my MS while I get my OD, and what that is a Master's of Science. So Salus offered an MS, but you would have to pay extra tuition, and the only MS program they had was public health. So I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna do that if I go to Salus. But then I went here, and oh my god, like SCCO has so many options for MS programs, like low vision, and okay, she named me a lot of things, but I can't remember right now. But there's a lot. And they pay for it, so like I don't have to pay extra tuition or anything. It's part of my education, and I'm like, that's amazing, because you need an MS in order to teach, and I want to teach to other optometry students or whatever. So we talked about that, and I asked about legislation because I'm interested in fighting for optometrists, for our right to perform LASIK and whatever. I can make a whole nother video on that, but yeah. So she was able to answer my questions, and she was very into the fact that I knew what I wanted. So after that, I had my individual interview. So the individual interview isn't like the YouTube videos. It's not like 2 people there. It's not multiple people, and obviously it's not filmed. It was very laid back. It was with one of the committee members. I had Dr. Lynn. She was a great lady. It made me feel very comfortable. Questions were very basic, why optometry, and tell me about your experience as a technician and shadowing. Tell me about yourself, like that kind of stuff. But every interview is different. So one interview could ask you this, another interview viewer could ask you about like your weaknesses, you know, those kind of things have ready, but you know, don't stress out about it. So after my interview, I felt great. I was like, yes, it's over. We had the campus tour, so it was a student-led campus tour, and the student, she just showed us around to the lab, the library, where students go to hang out and eat, you know, lunch and stuff, their gym. It was very nice. I enjoyed the campus. Beautiful campus. Perfect size for a professional program. I enjoyed seeing where I was gonna be getting my white coat ceremony. Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. So then after that we had lunch. After lunch we went to the clinic, and you know, in the clinic we just saw the different areas, so like contact lenses, corneal disease, pediatrics, low vision, etc. Nice clinic, very, very nice. And then after that we had a mixer with the student ambassadors, kind of mingled, network, and talk with them. And then the day ended. So I left SCCO feeling like this was my home. Like this is where I want to be. This is where I see myself, and this is where I see that I'm going to grow the most as an individual and as a professional. And, you know, that was something I didn't get from Salis. Nothing against Salis. Like, great school in its own right. But you wanna go to a program where you feel like you can make a difference, where you feel like you will have the most growth. And I felt that immediately here. And also somewhere that's warm and inviting, and I could just tell from the students who were talking to me, from the faculty, that everybody here wants you to exceed. Everybody here is rooting for you. You know, will go out of their way to help get you where you need to go. And that's something, that's like a philosophy that I personally try to prescribe to, especially with you guys. I like the fact that they have state-of-the-art technology, and they're the only ones in California to be carrying this kind of technology. When I was talking about the VR machine and all that stuff, it would take a long time to get everybody the proper experience without those VR machines. Because if you know anything about dilation, you know that when you dilate a patient, you know, you have to find volunteers. People don't like having blurred vision, and like it's just hard to get the most out of it when you're doing it the traditional way. So this is very revolutionary, and now no longer do we have to like wait for this and like waste our time kind of thing. So I really like that. Second, I like the fact that my MS was going to be paid for, and like I had options. That was very amazing. Third thing, everyone just looked like they enjoyed it. The kids at Salis didn't look like they were enjoying anything. It looked kind of like they were very stressed out, and I don't know, it was kind of gloomy. So, yeah. Another thing that I really enjoyed, I guess third or fourth, I forget what number I'm on, but another thing I enjoyed was the fact that SCCO is really working towards revolutionizing the way we think about healthcare and the healthcare profession, how we interact with one another as professionals. So they had this education model of interprofessional education. So what that means is the program, well, first of all, Marshall B. Ketchum itself has the optometry program, PA program, and then a pharmacy program. So what they try to do, this program tries to do, is put all these professions in a pot, mix them together, and like really get us, you know, conditioned to kind of work with one another, to speak with one another, to collaborate with one another, and to kind of bridge the gap between these professions as well as the gap between the patient in order to provide the patient with the best quality service. When I heard that pitch, I was like, I'm sold. Like, I'm excited about the future. This gets me excited about the future. This makes me feel like I'm going in the right direction. Honestly, those are the main things really. The one thing I took away from that day, and the day that I got my acceptance, which was 2 days after. So I had my interview last week on Saturday, March 4th, and then I got my acceptance on March 6th. So yeah, what I learned from that whole experience was don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do it, that you're too late, that whatever. You know, because if you put your mind to it, if you are grinding, if you're a hustler, like I was hustling. I was emailing left and right, and I was asking people questions, and I was Googling, and I was, you know, doing all this extra research because this was something I wanted. And if you want this enough, you're going to make it happen. It's going to happen for you, I promise, okay? And I'm going to help you get there. I hope this video was informative. If you want to learn more about SCCO, you know, comment below. I'm really open to helping you guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.